What's going on, Godzirra Nation? This is Arghgodzirra, back again with another AFL tips and predictions video. We're looking ahead to round 15, but before we do that, we've got to look back at round 14. I got 5 out of 5. Someone get me a broom because your boy did a clean sweep. Obviously, Geelong in a very close game after the siren, if you don't mind. Port Adelaide with a huge win. North Melbourne testing Brisbane a little bit, but Brisbane getting the job done. GWS just absolutely coming out and showing that there's still a very big chance at playing finals this year. And Essendon getting the job done in a tight contest against Hawthorn. In a game where a lot of people are saying Jake Stringer had the best individual effort by any player this year. Jake Stringer. Yeah, you've heard of him, right? But as I said, I wasn't the only one that tipped 5 out of 5. We're going to get it up on the screen right now, and we're going to kick it off from the bottom, work our way up. So we've got Frio Dog, we've got Shepherd's Pie, we have Prozada, we have Taxi Maxi, Gramercy Riffs 78, still love that name, O'Eary 891, Lee Panda, Hi to You Too, bear with me here while I get through all these names, Tritter H, myself, ArghGodzirraYT, Macca0303, Ekins, Rockstar Pool 69, Hanger 18, Madge Tiges 77, Kiani, Nardo, Taj River Taylor 123, Chip 16, Is Don Is Good, Onesie Lover, CWA, Brighton 75, and Damon 140108. Congratulations to each and every one of you, including myself, for tipping a clean round. Before we get into this week, there is going to be a competition going between myself and my brother in this specific round, because we didn't want to do it in the bye rounds, because bye rounds mean less games, less at stake, easier to kind of tip a full round. As you see here, it's the first time I've tipped a full round, and it only took a round that had 5 games to do it. But MND was promoted, obviously, not just this round gone, but the round prior, and it's a great cause, obviously. Neil Danaher, absolute champion. Give him Australian of the Year right now. I mean, what more does this bloke have to do for a great cause and push for all of this money to be raised to help future people? This isn't going to help him. It's a disease that's going to kill him, but he has done so much to help it prevent killing people down the line. Recognise him already, please. But normally MND is linked with the Ice Bucket Challenge, and now that we're back to full games, full rounds, myself and my brother have a little bit at stake here. Whoever tips the least amount between myself and my brother this week is going to get the Ice Bucket Challenge done to them, and in next week's tipping video you will see that outcome kind of linked on, so stick around, because Corey's going to get ice bucketed. He's got no chance of beating me this week. Looking ahead at round 15, so good to be coming back. We've got Thursday night football back in the fold again as well. Thank you. I just love Thursday night football. If they could play football every day of the week, I'd love to. I'm all for it. I'm all for it, just saying. Brisbane, Geelong at the Gabba. I'm going to back Brisbane here, and this is going to be game of the round. Quite comfortably. Can I select Brisbane one time? Thank you. The margin is going to be 22 points. Mitch Duncan out for the rest of the year for, well, at least a home and away season for Geelong is huge, because he sets up a lot of that movement. However, Cam Guthrie coming back in, it kind of weighs out, because Cam Guthrie's having an All-Australian year prior to his injury, so could go either way. Dangerfield back in the team, obviously is going to be a huge morale booster as well. But Brisbane recently got Lachie Neale back, so we're starting to find that balance again. Definitely going to be a tight contest. I don't think... Definitely going to be a good contest to watch. I rate what Geelong have been doing better than what Brisbane have been doing, purely because, as we saw on the weekend, Geelong, okay, they had a hard-fought contest. They had to grind out a goal after the siren, but they played quality opposition. Brisbane struggled a bit against North Melbourne, who's on the bottom of the ladder, and you start to question whether form from a previous week does really come in. But then we've seen actions this year where Richmond, for example, they've got their rematch this week, but Richmond played St Kilda the first time, 80 plus points, and then the following week they got belted. So can we really take past week's form into account when doing our tips anymore? But Brisbane, for me, at the Gabba, very hard to tip against. Friday night, MCG, Richmond taking on St Kilda. I'm taking Richmond to win. It was a little bit upsetting to see them lose to West Coast in the dying moments, but I think there was a lot from that game that we can take. Richmond kind of crumbled in the final 10 minutes and let a very panicked nature take over their ball control. I think Dimmer would have got stuck into them on the week off. Toby Nankervis and Dion Prestia are both chances to return for this game as well, which is absolutely huge. David Asprey, I don't know how far off he is, but the pieces are now starting to fall back into place for Richmond to get their team back to full strength again. And just the right time too, because we need to start moving, especially if we want to capitalise on teams like Brisbane and Geelong taking each other on and opening up the opportunity to take a top 4 finish. Saturday starts at Bloodstone Arena, North Melbourne taking on the Gold Coast. I'm tipping North Melbourne, and this is where the first probably different tip is going to go down, because I know Corey's going to be back in the Gold Coast. It's going to be very interesting to see North Melbourne get the win here, because if I'm not mistaken, oh no, that will put them it'll put them 2 points behind Hawthorn. Right there, you can see the ladder. I thought it would maybe move them up to the same amount, but I forgot they drew against GWS. They didn't win that game, but I think North Melbourne get the biscuits here. We then travel to Marvel Stadium, where Collingwood is taking on Fremantle. Grundy back in this week, huge news. It's going to be at the expense of Max Lynch, who has shown some promise for Collingwood, but let's face it, he was only placeholding. I'm going to go Collingwood. Fremantle here, I'm giving every chance to actually rock up and cause an upset, but I think Collingwood are going to be too strong. MCG, Essendon, Melbourne. This game is interesting because Melbourne obviously go in with the advantage of having Max Gawn in the ruck against Essendon, who's got still effectively a rookie ruckman. And Max Gawn has bullied teams early this season that had those rookie ruckmen in place. However, Essendon have started rolling on a huge momentum kind of roll. Even their loss to Richmond, I don't think it really derailed that momentum. And they could cause one of the upsets of the year here. I'm believing. I'm going to tip Melbourne, but I'm believing that. Don't discredit Essendon, and if you're a betting man at $4, that could be a cheeky chance. And then Saturday night rounds out at Adelaide Oval with Port Adelaide taking on Sydney, and it's as simple as ticking Port Adelaide, and Port Adelaide just doing the job, getting the job done. Systems in place, I think, are more effective than Sydney. But again, this could be a game that could be turned on its head. Port Adelaide haven't been that dominating team on their home ground this year. They've had a lot of close encounters, and I think if they leave the door open, Sydney could capitalise and knock them off. But I think Port Adelaide in the end will be too strong to be defeated at home. Giant Stadium on Sunday sees GWS taking on Hawthorn, and I'm going with GWS. They've got the ball rolling. I am envisioning a top 8 finish for them, and if we have a quick look at the ladder, they are placed only the 2 points behind Richmond, so a win here would put them on 30 points. I'm thinking Sydney are the team that are at real risk of dropping out here. So with the teams that are chasing for finals, GWS and Essendon are the 2 that can push in, and Sydney, West Coast, Richmond are the 3 that are a genuine threat to drop out. So that's why I'm saying Richmond really need to start moving here if we want to play finals. But I think GWS get it done against Hawthorn. Optus Stadium, West Coast Bulldogs. Again, this is going to be a great game. I don't think it's going to be the game of the round like I said with Brisbane Geelong, but it'll come close. Oh, you've got to take a chance sometimes, right? Luke Shuey is a sneaky chance to come back into this game, by the way. Who do you go? I'm going to go the Eagles for the time being. But Bulldogs here, I think they're going to cause an upset and win. This tip might change, but for the time being, I'm locking in West Coast. And we round out at Marvel with Carlton taking on Adelaide, and I think Carlton are going to get the job done. I've got to tip one for my Blue Bagger supporters. It's been a while since I backed you guys in, and I think I'm going to back you guys in this week. So having a look over my tips, Brisbane, Richmond, North Melbourne, Collingwood, Melbourne, Port Adelaide, GWS, West Coast, and Carlton. Fingers crossed I can get the job done because there is an Ice Bucket Challenge on the line. As I said, that'll be recorded and added onto next week's tipping video, so if that's something you want to see, make sure you're subscribed and you got notifications enabled, so then when the video drops, you get a little ring-a-ding-ding, let you know what's what, and you can go check it out. If you could be so kind as to leave a like on the video as well, I would hugely appreciate it, because it does go a long way to supporting the channel. Let me know in the comment section down below your certainty and upset of the round. I think the certainty here has to be Richmond over St Kilda, surely. Upset of the round, as I said, would be Essendon over Melbourne. I envision another upset in many ways would be Fremantle coming to Melbourne and defeating Collingwood, but then you could argue that Collingwood haven't had that good of a year, so it's not really an upset. Sydney defeating Port Adelaide would be a good upset as well to select. We're not going to cover the gauntlet, and we're not going to cover minimum 5, because I've been eliminated from those already. But that's it from me, guys. I'm out of here. Good luck to your teams this weekend, and as always, I will catch you guys next time.
Continue.